Gunnar, from what you've seen of Montana's defense, what do you think will be effective against them?
We have a really good game plan together. Offensive staff's done a great job. The defense brings a lot of different things to the table. A lot of shifts, a lot of movements, play, pretty much every coverage in the book. But, we're going to have a lot of different things against them.
There was a moment in the Idaho State game where you and John White now were kind of getting after it a little bit, mask to face mask. You talk about that, what the issue was. I understand that he kind of gave you a little shout out after the game as far as like
we had a miscue between each other in the play, and he thought it was I was supposed to do one thing, and when I thought I was supposed to do another thing, just a little miscue, and it was frustrating. It was a fourth down we should have picked up, and we got back to the sideline and talked about it and realized it was miscommunication.
But in the heat of that moment, what's that like to just have two teammates really going at it there?
Yeah, I mean, these are guys you spend every day with. These are your brothers, and he's one of my brothers, and sometimes you get into it with family. So that's just kind of what it was like.
You said after the game that you felt less fatigued than normal, partially because you didn't run quite as much. But did that carry through, considering you were limited last year? Did that carry through the last couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. I think now looking back on it, maybe I didn't feel so fatigued. When you get a win, it's a lot of energy. It brings good emotion. So I felt extremely good after the game. But yeah, it's definitely carried me through the next couple of days, and I'm feeling great today.
Dakota, physically, how prepared are you for this game?
As prepared as I can be. I'm extremely blessed to be in a program where we have Coach Wilcox, who spends the time with us week in and week out, keeping our bodies where we want them to be. Last year at this time I was physically nowhere close to where I am right now, so I'm extremely thankful for that. But I feel good.
Can you just talk about your excitement level, finally being able to play this game?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, it's a game I've been watching for I've seen it 3 years now, or maybe it feels like forever. Extremely excited to play against these guys, and but that starts. I got to carry that through preparation, preparing for them for Saturday.
How hard was it to watch last year?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. One of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. But something that's burned and ingrained in my memory, and it's definitely a driving force behind my preparation for this week's game.
How good is their defense compared to like other teams you played this year?
That's a hard question because every defense comes with a different scheme against you. So I won't know that question until we play them Saturday. But they're a good defense. Montana always has a good defense. But I wouldn't say it's anything out of the ordinary along the rest of the Big Sky.
Playoffs kind of out of the picture for you guys. What's it mean to protect home field here this weekend?
Yeah, this is our last game. This is our playoff game. Whatever you want to call it. It adds a little extra fuel to the fire.
Chad, what are the biggest challenges of Montana's defense?
I mean, they have a solid group of linebackers, and they're coached really well. They do a good job flying to the football, playing with emotion. I think they pose challenges in every aspect of the game. They're good defense, and we're going to be challenged all day Saturday.
How often do you think of last year's game?
I mean, pretty often throughout the year, but I mean, once you get into the football season, you go week to week. You don't think about any other game, or try not to until the week's here. So now, since the football season started, this is the first time it's really crossed my mind. But as far as the off season goes, obviously you use that as motivation, and we don't want to repeat what happened last year.
For someone who's been around this game your entire life, how excited are you this week?
Oh, I'm really excited. This is it, man. This is Montana State. You watch this game since you're old enough to understand what's going on, and you're always on one side or the other, and it splits the state in half, and it's great. Hopefully come out the win this weekend.
What sense do you get from Dakota about just his motivation this week? Having to sit out last year, what are you seeing out of him?
Nothing different, man. He goes about his work very classy. He goes about it the same way every week. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. Obviously, this is going to be the first time playing in the game for him, so he's going to be pretty excited come Saturday. But he's got a level head right now, and he's just going about his business as normal.
I know you've talked about it before, but cold weather games, late season games, playoff style games. Can you talk about that? What it means to you being from Montana?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can play meaningful football in the end of November, which we haven't put ourselves in a position to make the playoffs and continue, but this is such a meaningful game, not only to us, but to everybody in the state of Montana, and to anytime you're playing for something greater than yourself is awesome. And anytime, like I said, putting yourself in a position to play meaningful football in November, it's what we live here for here in Montana.
Is there anything in particular from growing up watching this rivalry that stands out in your mind, thinking back to when you were in middle school, high school, something like that?
I think the biggest thing for me, looking back, I guess, came to the Cat Griz game here, and it was when Mark Desson had to step in and play quarterback. Being from senior, being a guy I know and relate to really well, watching him come in and play a really good football game when he hadn't played all year, and just stepping in for the biggest game of his life and just tearing it up. I mean, that's one memory that really stands out to me.
How do you think your offense matches up against Montana's defense?
Well, I think our offense matches up against any defense really well. I believe in our guys. I believe in our guys up front, our guys on the outside. Obviously, number 5, great player, and I believe in us as a backfield. I think we match up against anybody, and we pose as much challenges as any defense poses to us.
You've had some different linemen up front, especially last game. Some guys get in, play well. But can you talk specifically about John Weinauer and kind of his journeys, about to make his 49th consecutive start? What's he mean up front, and kind of talk about his discipline throughout his 4 years?
Yeah, John he's an amazing guy. Just the way he carries himself, the way he is as a leader on this football team, the way he leads those guys up front to start that many games in a row. There's something to be said about that, and to not miss many snaps, if any, just as a tribute to his toughness and his attitude that no matter what, nothing's going to take him off the field, and nothing's going to get between him and this program, and the way he represents it is top-notch, and he makes us all proud the way he goes about his business.
Chad, with the way that the season has gone, what would a win against Griz do for the program moving forward?
Moving forward, the program, obviously, we want to keep winning football games, and that's what we're about here. No different this week. Just because it's the Griz doesn't mean we want to win anymore. We always want to win more than anything, and that's our priority here in this program. Obviously, this week you're playing for more than yourself, and that's a concept we try to instill in our guys and in ourselves as early as we can. Is play for something greater than yourself, and I think this week is just the realization of that concept, and I think you'll see that this weekend.
You probably know some of those guys over there on a personal level. Do you have any interaction with them this week, or how does that look leading up to the game?
I do know a couple of those guys. I've grown up. Brady Gustafson, probably the guy I know the best on that team, playing regulators baseball, traveling baseball with him, and grown up playing against some of those guys down in Billings. But this week, you don't really maintain too much contact with them. Not that they're the enemy or anything until Saturday, but yeah, it's just normal week for us, just as we go forth preparing for this game.
Any thoughts on your high school alma mater playing Bozeman for the championship on Friday?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going and watching that game and watching Senior take home its first state title since '79.
Okay, Mitch, how do you think your offense matches up against Montana's defense?
Very well. I think we match up against anybody's defense very well. I think we have all year. I'm excited to see what Coach Graham has in store for us this week, though.
What do you think, from what you've seen, that you can do against them?
I think we can do anything we want. I think we can run, we can pass, we can put in element plays. I think, it's always been on us. It hasn't been against, it hasn't been the defenses that stopped us. It's been ourselves.
How much do you think about how the game went last year?
The Cat Griz game?
Yeah.
I try not to think about it too much. It didn't go our way, obviously, but I'm not going to let it affect us this year. I don't think that matters at all this year.
Is there a difference just walking around campus, anything like that you get this week compared to other weeks, even during the season?
Oh yeah, I mean you feel the energy for sure. I mean throughout the community and people, you know, messaging us on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun being around the Montanans, and obviously I'm not from here, so I mean I'm not as much influenced by it, but it's definitely a different feeling, and it's fun for the community.
What sense do you get from Dakota? You know, he missed last year and obviously was the backup before and had to watch. So just his excitement level and just level of sort of focus and determination going in this week.
Yeah, I think Dakota, and I mean all of us, I think the level of focus is up. I mean Dakota's, I think, very excited for this week, just because, you know, he wasn't able to play last year, and I believe it's his first Cat Griz game. So yeah, he'll be ready. He'll be excited this week.
Has it set in for you where you are in your college career?
You know, not yet. I think it'll set in when I step out with my family for that senior day. It hasn't yet, but it'll definitely it'll hit home. Tanner Bleskin actually came and talked to us 2 days ago, just about how we need to mentally be ready for that moment so it doesn't affect our play that day. So I found that to be very helpful. I've been thinking about that a lot this week, just, you know, thinking about all the stuff that I've been through here and all the awesome experiences I've had. But I mean, I'm excited. Go out and win.
Mitch, how ready are you and your teammates for this game?
We're very ready. I think we've been gearing up for this game for a while now. Obviously, I mean, we've always been looking forward to this game. It's part of our goals for this year is to win Cat Griz, as it is every year. So I think we're very ready.
What's it mean to protect home turf here this weekend?
I mean, a lot, obviously. I mean, we've played pretty well at home throughout the year. And I mean, we haven't had the best track record here in previous, you know, couple years or however many years. I don't know how many years it has been since we won at home, but I know we want to bring that trophy back this year, prove ourselves.
Tanner talked to you guys on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Just to the seniors, or
no, just the whole team. I mean, I'm not going to go too far into it, but I mean, he basically just told us that we need to prepare right, and just as a team we need to be together. I think that's what'll get us the win. It's not guys being solo, doing your own thing. We're going to beat the Griz together this year.
Not being a guy that's not from Montana, what was your introduction to it, or was there a moment when you thought, like, oh, this is
the Cat Griz,
yeah.
Cat Griz experience? I mean, I played 3 years ago against Cat Griz just on special teams, and I mean, it kind of set in that year for me. I mean, just being around the guys like Tanner Bleskin and those guys that have, you know, have played in these games and they're from Montana, you can definitely feel that they're kind of in their zone, and they got a fire lit underneath them. So I mean, that kind of sparked me a little bit there, and kind of got me rolling on the whole, you know, rivalry thing. And I mean, it's fun to have rivalries. Obviously, you have rivalries in high school and stuff, and it's not a lot of times you get to play in rivalry games. So I'm really looking forward to it this year as my senior year.
Could a win this weekend kind of salvage what has been kind of a disappointing season?
I mean, it would definitely put the cherry on top for us seniors. It would get us back to a winning season, you know, above 500, which is one of our goals from just the kind of year we've had. But I mean, I think for the seniors to go out with a win and bring that trophy back home would mean a lot for our program, for our community.
is that something that you guys do very often, have a former player come back and talk, or was that just a special?
I mean, not like that. And again, I'm not going to go too much into it just because I think it's more important for our team to hear that than the community. But no, it's not a lot of times you get, you know, a Bobcat great like Tanner Bleskin to come back and really speak from his heart and tell us, you know, how he thinks that we need to win this game. And I mean, I feel like the stuff he said really hit home for a lot of us. You know, disregard, you know, our record this year. I think just putting our focus on this game and our preparation and, you know, winning together. I think that meant a lot to a lot of the guys. So yeah, I mean, we don't really get a lot of guys that come in and talk to us like that. So I thought that was a pretty special thing.
You talked about preparing for those emotions. You've kind of been on a journey, transferring in college, and now you end up here. So what do you think some of those emotions will culminate in? Happiness, sadness, you talk about some of those emotions you're going to feel?
You know, honestly, I'm not. I don't know yet. I mean, once that moment hits, it'll hit. But I'm not. I mean, I think it'll be a happy moment and a sad moment. For me, I mean, being up in front of everybody with my family, you know, that'll mean a lot. Having all them come out here. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not, because I don't want the ride to end. But you know, it's got to end sometime. So might as well go out with a win this week.
Do you get the impression that Montana players still kind of look down on Montana State as you're not as good as they are?
You know what? I don't think so. I think some of them do, but I think they better respect us this week. We're coming in, or they're coming into our house, and you know what? We're not going to take anything for granted. We're not going to take any of the past years and let that influence us. We're gonna come out ready this week. And I think that means a lot for us and our community and our guys and the young guys and the seniors. And I think we'll be ready this week.
So line up too. Check this out. There you go. It's a game changed, man. Game changed.
Okay, Tino, how do you think your defense matches up against Montana's offense?
Great. I think we match up great against all offenses, really, but I think a lot of that just comes from we have a lot of trust in each other now. I think our back end is doing great. I thought they had a great game against Idaho State. They're getting it down. Our linebackers getting into it. And up front, I think everything we're doing right now is just, we're ready to go.
What do you need to slow them down?
The tackle, I don't know. I don't think we need anything new. You know, I think we'll do exactly what we did before for all of our other games. We're gonna watch film, strategize, and I don't know. I think we just need to make plays like we always do.
You talk about the back end there. Trace Timmer got his first start in Idaho State. Played pretty well. I saw you guys celebrate a couple times. Can you talk about his journey, kind of what he's been like, you guys, your 4 years together?
Yeah, Trace is a great guy. I love Trace, you know, and I trust him almost more than a lot of people just from the experience and the time we've spent together. I feel bad for Trace because he's had so many different injuries throughout this whole thing. And I know a lot of people could have easily thrown in the towel after their however many shoulder surgeries or whatever he's had, you know, but Trace is just a warrior, man. He's been through it all, so that's why, you know, I think I have so much trust in him, especially in a big game or like late in a game if things aren't going well. Trace has always been the kind of guy that's bounced back from everything in life, so, you know, it's nice. I don't have to worry about things like that with Trace because if something big happens or maybe he misses a play, I know he'll bounce back because he's just a tough dude.
How has this defense improved over the last couple of weeks?
I think exactly like I've been saying. I think it's a lot of trust in everybody. The back guys can trust us up front that we're going to put pressure on the quarterback. The linebackers can trust us up front. We can trust them that we're all going to hit the right gap, fill each hole, and I think a lot of it's just executing. You know, we've all got closer and closer to just being consistent throughout everything. You'll see a lot of plays where everyone's perfect 100%, and then we might see the next play down the road, or especially at the beginning of the season, we'd see the exact same play with just one guy out of place, and that one guy, or that one missed tackle, whatever it is, led to a big play. And now I think we've seen it a lot, and everyone's, you know, trusting each other to be there, that the consistency is building, and we're getting a lot better at that.
When you look at a guy like Brady Gustafson, he hasn't played a whole lot this year, but came back last week. What can you just evaluate his skills and what he brings? You know.
Yeah, you know, for their offense, I know a lot of people have talked about. It's like just kind of a tough offense for a lot of people to learn. So I think that's what he brings to it, is that he knows it. You know, he knows what to do. I think he's got it down as to, you know, who's going to be open and when. So, I don't know. I think we kind of just got to get into his head a little bit and try to get him out of his game and make him clutch and double guess or second guess. at his routes and who he's going to hit.
Yeah, is that the biggest key, just pressure and getting, crash in the pocket? Is that the key? Do you think?
Yeah, that's our key to every game. We try to disrupt anything we can and just wreak havoc in the backfield. I think because this is his first year starting, and he's good from everything that I've seen. Every game I've seen him play, he does really well. So I don't know. It's a lot different when you play in a Cat Griz game. So we're hoping that the 20,000 fans sitting out there gets to him a little bit, and it's just a lot different. We'll see how he responds to it.
Growing up in Missoula, I know that you knew Ben Roberts when you were younger. Can you talk about kind of what kind of athlete he is, and are you surprised to see him in this game and what it means to kind of play with someone like that?
Ben's a freak, man. I know a lot of people have known him or just seen some of the crazy catches he's already had this year, but dude's nuts. Like, I remember growing up, that was like my favorite memory is we grew up and we'd always play like NBA Street or whatever it was on the PlayStation, and it was just crazy, It's just like a game full of wicked dunks or whatever. And we go out to my basketball court, and I swear to God, Ben would do anything we played in that game. He's a crazy athlete, but just a great guy. And I haven't seen him in a while, but we text back and forth a lot. And I texted him after they just played Eastern. I said, "Hey, good game," super excited because our families talk a lot still. I just told him I was really excited to see him, on or off the field, it doesn't matter. I haven't seen him in so long. And he's just the same guy, We're still the same friends that we've always been, and super nice about it. And I don't know, I'm excited. I'm very happy for everything that he's done. Going from a great baseball career to now tearing it up on the football field, that just kind of speaks of who he is.
All right.
Yep.